everyone, and welcome to another episode of Q&A with Brittany, where I answer your questions about people problems. Today's question comes from Beth, and Beth asks, how do we escape negative emotions? Beth, I'm really glad you asked this question because I think so often we try to escape these unpleasant emotions that we don't take the time to really look at the emotion that we're having and why we're having it. You ask, how do we escape negative emotions? There's no such thing as negative emotions. Unpleasant emotions that I'm sure you're labeling as negative, they can be toxic if we allow them to stay in our system too long because they produce cortisol, and cortisol can lead to so many things. It can increase our risk of coronary heart disease, memory loss, stress on our bodies and minds, and problem-solving abilities, and there's just a whole list of things that cortisol affects. So we want to try to stay away from being in a state of toxic emotions for too long. Whenever you have these emotions, first acknowledge those emotions. What are you feeling? Let's say it's anger. Okay, so you're feeling anger. Acknowledge that anger. The next step is, why am I angry? What is making me angry? And you may say, well, because somebody did something to me. Just because somebody does something to us and we feel anger from that, it's not necessarily them that made us angry. It's something deeper than that. So I'm just going to use like a husband leaves something around the house. So I get irritated because he leaves something around the house and it irritates me. It doesn't necessarily get me to anger, but some people it does, right? So that might start an argument. So I acknowledge that, you know what? You leaving your dirty clothes everywhere irritates me. But I still haven't found why it's irritating me. So I got to find the need behind that emotion. Well, for me, I like to have a very clean, neat environment, especially if I've had a really stressful day. So that's kind of just adding to my already existing anxiety and stress. So I need to be able to come home to a clean environment to be happy. There's my need. I need a clean environment. Now that I have acknowledged the emotion of irritation, we've identified the need behind that emotion, then we can appropriately address that emotion. So I may go to my husband and say, look, I just had a really stressful day and these clothes are really irritating me. And I just really need a neat environment to feel safe and happy and comfortable when I get home. Would you please help me out by cleaning this up? Now, a lot of conversations don't go that way. And it's not that they can't, and it's not that that's unrealistic, because I often use this technique to address those unpleasant emotions, and it works brilliantly. It really works, like really, really well. The problem is we tend to skip over acknowledging that emotion and finding the need behind that emotion, and so we don't ever address the need to that person. Because we don't address that need, they just see the emotion. Like, oh my gosh, can you not just pick your clothes up? Like, seriously? Like, are you that lazy? Blah, 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 you know? And so we kind of just project that feeling onto them. So instead of escaping those negative emotions, or I would say unpleasant emotions, just identify it. Don't try to escape it. Acknowledge it and take care of it. Because if you don't, it'll probably come back. So I really hope that answers your question. If any of you have a question that you would like to have answered on my next episode, please direct message me, and I hope to see you then.